What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Off the Shelves. It's been a little while, but I actually have a pretty sizable video this time. So until the movie industry kicks back off again, these probably will be bi-monthly videos, maybe later than that. Otherwise, I'm going to be showing you 3 or 4 titles a video. But I've got like 20 here to talk about, so good sized one. For those of you just following me for the first time, just seeing me, this is actually my Blu-ray collection update, Blu-ray haul video. So I'm going to talk about all the Blu-rays that I bought over the past couple of months. If I've seen them, give you my quick little synopsis review of them, and then tell you whether or not you should go out and buy it, stream it, or skip it altogether. So, starting off with some good old-fashioned 90s kid nostalgia, we've got Good Burger. This was finally released on Blu-ray, I believe this month, just a couple weeks ago. I've always loved this movie. It's dumb as hell. On paper, it's terrible, but I grew up watching all that and Kenan and Kel, and I saw this movie in theaters with my cousin. I've always had a lot of fun with it. I'm a dude. He's a dude. I'm still a 90s kid at heart. Always will be. So I live in the 80s, but my soul is in the 90s. Good Burger, I have fun with it. If you're a 90s kid, it's a go out and buy it all day long. For everybody else, probably skip it. It's not really a movie that you could probably watch for the first time today and go, hey, I see the appeal. Moving on to that is a movie I remember watching as a kid, but I actually just bought this for my daughter so that she can watch it. Mouse Hunt. This came out with Good Burger the same day, so I bought both of these in a little package together. I don't really have a review for you. I remember thinking it was funny as a kid, but I have not rewatched this since. Another movie from my youth that I always loved, had the action figures, I had the video game, and I still love today because I just watched it this morning with my daughter, and that is Small Soldiers. Absolute classic in my mind. You have toys fighting each other. Archer, emissary of the Gorgonites. I've always loved this one. It's a good one that actually holds up pretty well, like the CGI and everything they use, the animatronics, they all hold up. So this is actually a fun one. It just came out. So if you have not seen this, it's on Amazon Prime too. Check this out with your kids. It holds up. Go out and buy it. This is pure morbid curiosity. Fat Man. It's an action movie where Mel Gibson plays Santa Claus, and he has to start partnering with the U.S. military and then has to take down Walton Goggins. Everything about that statement intrigues me. So my buddy Sean Chandler said that there was a small chance that I would not really like this, so I have not watched it yet, but I did want to pick it up because I'm confident that he's right. Oh, one of my favorites of all time. The Ref. This was actually my birthday present from my daddy. So yes, The Ref. This is a Christmas comedy with Dennis Leary. It is one of my favorite comedies of all time, one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. Typically on Christmas Day, I watch Die Hard, and then I watch The Ref. This is a go out and buy it all day long. If you have not seen it, rectify that right now. This is one that I've only seen this movie once, despite how iconic it is, but I just realized that I didn't have it in my collection and I wanted to change that. So Sling Blade, saw that it was in the old Amazon list when I was going through all the bestsellers, and I said, son of a bitch, I need to own that. So now I do. Go out and buy this too. Have not seen it in a long time, but it is a very good movie. I mean, it's got Oscar nominations or wins. It's got both. So yes, go out and buy it. 4K Steelbook of Leon the Professional. I've never seen this entire movie all the way through. I've seen most of it, and I've seen the entire movie in pieces many times, but this is a film that I've always thought was cool, the bits that I remembered of it, but I just never owned it, never sat down to watch it, and I think it was during our 31 on 31 Action Edition debrief that we're talking about Luc Besson, and I was saying how every movie of his I've seen I haven't really liked, and I was like, well, it's because it's the last 10 years of his stuff. They're like, dude, watch Leon, watch Leon. So I picked that up to rectify that. Couple of old James Belushi movies. You got The Principal, a movie I have not seen in a very long time, but I always liked as a kid, where he's a principal in like an inner city school. Doesn't take a whole lot of shit. There's some kids that are drug dealers and criminals, and yeah, he starts cleaning house. So I remember enjoying it, wanted to pick it up and watch it again. Don't have a rating for you. It's been too long. Followed by Taking Care of Business, which I've never seen before, but I love Charles Grodin and I love James Belushi, so this was like right in next to the cart in The Principal, and I said, okay, fuck it, I'll get both. So if you're a fan of this, let me know. Is it better than a lot of the other James Belushi ones? K-9, probably my favorite. The only double dip, I believe, in this, and that is Elysium. Now, this is a movie that I've never understood the hate for. Everybody always, I say everybody, the loudest people in the room tend to say that Session 9 is the best, and Elysium's terrible, and they don't even like talking about Chappie. I've always been the opposite of that. I like District 9, but I thought this was fucking awesome. I've seen it multiple times. I've never understood the criticisms against it, and yeah, I wanted to check out the 4K, so I got the 4K, but this movie, as far as I'm concerned, is to go out and buy it. New flick that I have not seen yet, Love and Monsters. The premise and the cast involved really intrigued me. I think this was at the top of my buddy Sean's movies of last year, if I remember correctly. That's what kind of sparked my interest. I'm like, I haven't even heard of that. I need to check that out. And so I saw it on Amazon and said, fuck it, let me check this thing out. I will probably be watching this weekend, but if you have seen this, let me know how it is. A new film that I have seen and did review is Freaky, the Blumhouse slasher take on Freaky Friday. You got Vince Vaughn playing a serial killer, and you have Catherine Newton playing the final girl, and they end up swapping bodies, and now she has to survive as Vince Vaughn while everybody's getting killed by the teenage chick. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. If you want to see my full review, I'll remember to hopefully put a card up here. It wasn't perfect, but the gore was great. Vince Vaughn was good. I liked the concept. And, you know, as far as Blumhouse movies, they're hit and miss with me, but movies like this, these little genre swappers like Happy Death Day, I enjoy them. So I look forward to if they want to do a sequel to this, or if they want to do something along these lines. I have fun with them. A movie that I just watched and reviewed yesterday, actually, and have had some amazing comments so far. Wrong Turn 2021. I just spent this entire month of February going through the Wrong Turn franchise. Suffering through would actually be the more accurate description, but looking forward to checking out what this reboot or remake, I wasn't even sure what it was when I walked into it, see what it was all about. And I'm here to tell you, it's not perfect. The first 40 minutes or so of this movie is plagued by some unbelievably bad dialogue and unbelievably bad characters. But once it hits a certain point in the movie, from then all the way to the end, I actually thought it was pretty kick-ass. So I think this is the best Wrong Turn movie of the bunch. I have some nostalgic joy with the original film. I do like going back to it, but it's always been a mid-level slasher to me. This is something else. This is more of a cult horror film. It holds on to enough of the vibes and enough of the aesthetic and enough of the spirit of Wrong Turn, but goes in a wildly new direction, which if you've been following my thoughts on Child's Play for the past, 4 years, you know that I'm a big champion of, if you're going to remake it, do something new with it. Don't just give us the same shit. So this works for me. It's not going to work for everybody. You get a lot of people in the comment section that are pissed that there aren't cannibal hillbilly inbreds in this. Well, you have 6 of those. Go watch that. You have a lot of people that are getting pissed because there is a interracial couple and because there is a gay couple in here in a movie that literally spends 0 time forcing any kind of a message down your throat. Apparently just having them in the movie is woke. You got a lot of those comments. You guys can go fuck yourselves. But I really enjoyed this, so I'm going to remember to put a card for that as well. Check out that entire franchise review series, please, because there's a lot of really comedic gold with me just losing my mind for most of those films, but this was a nice light at the end of the tunnel. I enjoyed this, and I would tell you to go out and buy it. Unhinged. I bought this and completely forgot about it. I thought it looked intriguing enough for like a little B movie. I've heard it's pretty intense, and I heard that Russell Crowe is pretty good in it, so I don't have a review for you, but I just picked this up randomly at Walmart one day while grocery shopping, and I was intrigued enough that I do want to check this out, so let me know how good this is. The original Stepfather. I have only seen the remake to this, the one with Dylan McDermott, the guy from Nip Tuck, and I enjoyed that movie for what it is. It's not great, it's not a classic, but everybody always tells me, no, you gotta watch, you gotta review these, you gotta go check out the Stepfather movies. So I'm not saying I'm gonna review these, but I picked up the first one because I want to check it out. If I really, really enjoy it, you might see a Stepfather review series in the future. If I think that it's mediocre, then you won't. Vampire in Brooklyn. I got on a little mini Eddie Murphy kick last weekend where I was watching Raw and Delirious on Netflix, and I saw this, I believe it was on Amazon Prime, and I watched this a few times when I was a kid because I loved Eddie Murphy and I loved vampires, but I have not seen this movie in a couple decades. So I was like, fuck, let me check this out. It's kind of like a forgotten Wes Craven movie. And I really enjoyed it. It's not like, you know, Scream or Nightmare on Elm Street level, but it's really good. It's a good movie that I think is kind of a hidden gem, a little bit one of those movies that doesn't get talked about enough. So I really enjoyed it. I think Eddie Murphy's good as a villain. There is some good comedic stuff in there, but there's also some good horror stuff. They do some cool things with the lore of vampires that's interesting, with like the ghoul and everything. So I really enjoyed this. I would actually tell you to go out and buy this. Oh, dog. Now we're ending on some box sets. Do not get any crazy ideas in your head. I merely bought this because it was extremely cheap, and I'm a collection whore, and I cannot stop myself. The Hellraiser films. I own the first one, and I saw this box set, which I really hope I'm going to be able to play. I do have a region-free Blu-ray player somewhere, but I bought this because it was cheap and didn't even realize that it was a foreign release. So this is a box set of the first 3 movies, which is just a really cool looking box set regardless, but it was pretty damn cheap. And this was extremely cheap. This is the rest of the franchise minus the non-Doug Bradley ones. We have Bloodline, Inferno, Hellseeker, and Hellworld. So unless I'm, you know, there might be some more. Who the fuck knows? This is a 4-pack of Hellraiser movies for like $5. So altogether, I think this might have cost me like $30 for all these, which should tell you the quality of most of these films. But you know, whatever. I picked them up. One day I'm going to have to do a Hellraiser review series, whether I like it or not. Eventually they're going to do a new one. I'm going to be motivated to do it. So I might as well go ahead and get my books together before the big test, right? So that's what this is for. I don't have any ratings for you. I've only seen the first... I've seen the first 4, and I've seen the most recent one, whatever the hell that was, that didn't have Doug Bradley in it, that had like the guy that was typing all the fucking time. So, I don't know. I love the first Hellraiser, but I think it's one of those movies that should not have been a franchise. Oh, Middle-earth, the Lord of the Rings trilogy in 4K. I'm going to be honest, this is the second time that I have bought the box set of the Lord of the Rings trilogy with the intention of watching it and still have not watched them. I've seen Fellowship of the Ring 1.5 times. I saw it when it first came out, when it was all the rage, and everybody's like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, and I watched it, and I'm just not really a fantasy guy. Orcs and elves and fairies and wizards, that's just not really my thing. It's just not my thing. That's all I can say. So I watched the first half of it, and it was so long and so slow, and it was all the build-up half that I actually turned the movie off back when it first came out, and I was just a kid. I watched the entire movie when I bought the Blu-ray box set about 5 or 6 years ago, and enjoyed it, but just forgot to move on, and then years passed. So I bought this again, with the intention of finally watching this entire trilogy, so I can actually be part of the conversation from now on, instead of saying, I've never seen them, and seeing everybody go, what? So yes, eventually, we'll watch all 3 of those. And the last title, which I wish I could have kept the plastic on it, but fucking Amazon had it all torn off. I like to cut the ends off of my box sets so I can pull the thing out, but I keep the plastic on so that it looks neat and it stays clean. That's something that I picked up from my dad. And when I don't get to do that, it annoys the shit out of me. But I got the Before trilogy, Richard Linklater. I've never seen any of these movies. I've always wanted to. I've always been told how great they are, that it's one of the best trilogies. And there's not many movies, like she's a great sport. She'll enjoy them, she'll watch them with me, but there's not many movies that I pick that are really up my wife's alley. So I thought this might be a nice little break to where I watch a film series with her that I'm actually intrigued in, but is much more up her alley. So I really kind of bought this half for her, half for me. But yes, I've always heard this is a great trilogy. It's a really nice looking box set, so I wanted to check these things out. That is it, guys. That is Off the Shelves. Quite a few titles here. A lot of them I look forward to checking out, and a lot of them I hope you check out. So let me know down below if you've seen the ones that I have not seen, which ones that I should look forward to. Let me know what some of the big buys that you got this past couple of months are. And I will see you guys maybe in a month, maybe in 2 months, just depends on what I get a hold of. So we'll see you next time on Off the Shelves. Please like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button. I got a lot more on this channel besides videos like these. I've got reviews and rankings and top 10s and live streams. You will enjoy all of that, I promise. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, opinions are like assholes, but that doesn't mean that you have to be.